Sibear was always notorious for an absolute chore of a grind to get it, and also the fact that it's not worth that grind. But let's face it, nothing in warframe is worth 30,000 cryotic, so how can this even be close to matching the expectations? Incarnon buffs for this weapon are decent. You get some things that it needs, but hammers as a melee class are pretty stacked up. We have Kuva's shielded as one that's generally considered as the best all-around one. There's Arcatitron because of its undisputed nuclear power. And I'd put Wolf Sledge in there because it has so much going for it. It's a hammer, but also a glaive, but also a very good heavy attack weapon. Can Sibear compete? Kinda. It's a decent hammer, but the problem is the progression curve. At the time when you obtain it, you're highly likely to have other cool hammers. And because DE chose to make this weapon into a cryotic sink, that's where it's going to be placed. Can't be any sooner than endgame. Output is good, but damage being mainly impact is a big drawback. But with any build, slam attacks will force cold proc. Kinda, not always. At least I think there's some issues with that feature when it comes to slam attacks that are part of the combo. And that's the only special thing about Incarnon form, which is highly situational and kinda not great. Because when you slam, enemies are just thrown around, so if you want your condition overload to benefit from that, you first have to go through enemies that are not affected by it, so it's kinda weird. Now, I've been kinda negative about this weapon, but it's not that bad. It's good, just not good enough as something we can only obtain when we're deep into endgame. But there is one redeeming quality. You know how Sibear always had this thing where on heavy attack you get 4 seconds of flat 50% status chance increase? Well, that can be utilized by Gera to get some bleed procs with her first ability. Because when you hold one and Gera swings it, then 100% of the base damage is slash, but with 0% status chance. Sibear bumps it up, and for those 4 seconds, Gera's glass can actually do the thing that glass is really known for, actually make cuts. But that's not the only thing Sibear gives to Gera. Second evolution has this thing with cold status that it gives a pile down of combo when you hit enemies that are affected by a cold status. Using force proc on slam is wonky, but using epitaph to force those cold procs works really nice and nets you that high combo really fast. So there is kinda a mirror to how Ak and Brunt works with Gera. Just with this we get a chance to make them bleed. We can't do both high combo and bleed, or it's rather hard because in order to get the status we need to swing that heavy attack, which consumes a combo, so we probably need to fit a heavy attack efficiency mod on that stat stick. But with such high Riven disposition, I'm sure it's possible. I just didn't get lucky with the roll for Gera. And I'm not sure what's the total implication of Gera being able to do procs. She's known just for nuking the living hell out of anything, just with raw damage, and this is sort of a new gear. But Sibear ends up being a solid stat stick even without us using that feature. Easy combo gain and extremely high Riven disposition surely make it worth it. And when we do find a piece of content where slash can't help, then that option is just one click away. So that's the only redeeming quality I can think of for this weapon. It adds something unique to Gera. To most players, that probably won't mean much, but to those who like to play Gera, this could be interesting. I'm not an expert on Gera, and I did this with this kind of a build just for a little testing, but if you find a specific use for it, let me know in the comments. Technically you can do this thing with Atlas as well, to help with his atrocious 5% status chance, but losing combo with Atlas is not worth it because he hits more rapidly. It can still be a stat stick for Atlas, just not for forcing status. Atlas is 100% impact. So the end verdict would look like this. If you already have Sibear and you like Gera, this might be fun for you. If you do not have Sibear, I do not think it's worth it going out of your way to obtain it, just do it passively. And if you like Gera but you don't have Sibear, while this quirk looks fun, I still don't see a use case where I'd call this anywhere near a meta build. Maybe in the future they introduces some piece of content where this just fits, but currently raw damage Gera is as solid as it gets. And to be fair, nothing is worth going out of your way to get 30,000 cryotic. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.